This video is on the numerical vibration of 137. Hello, welcome to the Pathway Through 11 series. This video that you're about to watch is one of several videos in this series, but they're not in any particular order. So watch them, as many of them as you want to, and in any order that you want to, for how they work best and resonate best for you. So we're looking at this numerical vibration of 137. And so 137 is starting with some type of action where we are taking action in this vibration of 7. But we have to remember that this 7 vibration is not just any action. It's action in flow. So it's action that is really in sync with the energy of where we're trying to go. It's not forced. We're not trying to force something to happen with the action, but we're taking the action that is really aligned with that energetic flow so that it can occur. So once we are able to get into this flow and take action in the flow, now we're able to enhance this growth of the 3. So we're taking action in flow, and now we're getting this growth that is occurring. And when that growth occurs, it opens up our world to a brand new beginning. So it's important to recognize here that that action of 7 is very specific and as being action and flow. That is important here because by having action and flow, that means your growth is also in flow, which means that the new beginning that occurs is also in flow. So when you are in that energetic flow of where you are trying to go, now you can take action in flow. Now you can grow in flow, and now you can have the new beginning in flow. So this is like aligning our energetic vibrations to what it is that we want, and making sure that we're in flow for that. So once we are able to get these 3 individual vibrations to really move and work together, so the 1, the 3, and the 7, now we start seeing how 137 resonates as an 11 and then further resonates as a 2. So we need to think about how we are getting in this flow, making this action, taking this action to be able to grow to a new beginning, which then feels like an 11 at first and then moves into this vibration of 2. So interestingly, one of the phrases that resonates at this numerical vibration of 137 is death and rebirth. So when we're examining this numerical vibration of 137 as part of this pathway through 11, the goal of walking on this pathway through 11 is to recognize all these different 11s, all these different places where we're balancing in our life, and be able to bring those extremes together to create something new. So to go from an 11 to a 2. So when we think about this numerical vibration of 137 and this phrase of death and rebirth that resonates at that numerical vibration of 137, we have to think about this both as an 11 and as a 2. So if 137 is about taking this action and flow so that we can have growth and get to a new beginning, that's really what death and rebirth is there's something that is dying away, something that is leaving. And this can be at a very small level, like a micro level, all the way up to a big macro level of like one event in your life, all the way up to your life in general. And so we have to think about what is the action in flow that promotes the death of this old way, of this old thing, this old habit, this old pattern, or whatever it is. And how do we make sure that we are on this process of being in flow so that we can take action, grow, and then have this new beginning, which is this rebirth into something new? And I think that's where we have to look at the differences between death and rebirth as an 11 and as a 2. So for death and rebirth as an 11, this is really where we are recognizing that we have this old thing, this old habit, this old pattern, this old way of thinking, even person that needs to leave our lives, and we need to change it. We need to end it, like permanently ending. That's what death is. It's not wishy-washy change, or it's not change a little bit. It's completely done. So what are those things? We recognize what those things are that are completely done, but we can't fully let go of it. And so then we're trying to get to this new place at the same time that we're trying to hold on to this old thing. So this is almost like if you are in one state of mind and thinking one way around one set of people, and you're in a different state of mind thinking a new way around another set of people. So this is like where we've heard this phrase of like be in the world but not of the world. When you are both in the world and of the world, now you just have one way, but it may be just this old way. But when you're flip-flopping between, when you are in the world, but also of the world, or not of the world, now you're flip-flopping between the two. So hopefully that makes sense. So here it's like you're flip-flopping between the old and the new. You're trying to balance the old and the new. Whereas if we look at death and rebirth as a 2, this is really when you allow whatever's old, whatever needs to be completely done, be done. And you are fully going into this rebirth, this new beginning in the flow. So balancing is very much an action that a lot of times is out of flow. Because if you think about it, if there's a river flowing, it can't be flowing and not flowing at the same time. You can't have one part of the water that's staying still and another part of the water moving. It all has to move. It all has to change. And so that's where we're getting to this too, where we're allowing that death of whatever it is to occur so that we can fully move into rebirth. And part of that also is understanding and recognizing the difference between the old and the new, because it could be very subtle. As we do more work on ourselves and do some additional healing, some of these differences become very, very different and hard to detect. So really paying attention to what those are can be difficult to get to this too, where you may not even realize you're balancing. So a way that you could take action to move from this 11 to 2 is ask yourselves these questions. Are there any areas in your life where you want to end an old way, or you need to end an old way of doing things? Or this could be, separating yourself from people that have this old way of doing things. And also asking yourself, what would it look like to completely end, so that full death, that old way of doing things? What would that even look like? Because that's going to be able to start this process of figuring out where you're flowing to, so then you can take action in flow, you can grow in flow, and have this new beginning in flow. Thank you.